Sagar, can you hear me? Is anybody need to join or shall we start?
Yeah, start. You can start.
Okay. Then let me start it. So I can share my screen and we'll proceed.
Are you able to share screen?
Oh yeah, I'm able to share the screen now. Good. Yeah. Hope all of you can see my screen, right? So someone please confirm me.
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. So then thank you guys. We can go ahead. Okay. So hope my voice is also clear and I'm audible to all and my screen is also visible. So I'll just move on actually. Okay, once again, good evening to all and thanks for joining. So today we are going to continue from our yesterday part. So yesterday we just started like what was the what is going to be our agenda in the complete course. So that I just said about we are going to have introduction to cloud computing and cloud computing deployment models, and we are going to have cloud services. And I want to give a simple introduction about the cloud. But in this session of introduction to cloud computing, I'm going to display it in detail. But before do that, just for your understanding, I said like cloud is nothing but a virtual data center. In that virtual data center, we are going to have virtual resources. We are going to have the virtual resources like virtual machines, virtual network, and virtual storage. So those kind of thing I have explained it. After that, I started to explain one by one services like Elastic Compute Cloud, Simple Storage Service, Elastic Block Storage, Load Balancing, RDS. Like that, I think I explained up to VPC, and further I can give the remaining services as well. So today also we can just move on to continue with this. What are the services which you are going to have? Okay, I'll explain about the remaining syllabus. Okay, and then we'll move on to the topic. Okay, but anyhow, we need not to completely need not to know the entire thing. Why? Because here also further each and every topic wise. Okay, what it will be in the elastic load balancer, what it will be in the auto scaling, what will be in the simple storage service. So that we can see it under the direct session. But before to that, what are the services which you are going to cover? So that up to that I can complete it. Okay, so a few more things are there. So these are the few more things which you are going to explain what the service is going to do. So further we can see it. Okay, right. So before I'm moving to this services to explain about the services, any doubts on the previous session? Any doubt on the previous session?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, then thank you, friends. We can move on. Okay, now I can explain about the remaining services which you are going to cover. So next to that, yesterday I talked about VPC as well. I said like VPC is nothing but it's a virtual networking in the AWS cloud. So thereby, there we are going to have our virtual networking components like virtual router, virtual switch, and virtual firewall. By means of that, you can build the network infrastructure in the cloud. So that is what VPC. So up to that only I explained it. And now we can further move on to see about the cloud formation. Okay, what is cloud formation and why we need that? So in that way, I can say like
excuse me.
Cloud formation is can. Yes, please.
Hello? Yeah, I mean, sorry for interrupting. I was
Yes,
just
no problem.
yes, I was just saying. I mean, instead of going through the whole thing, why can't we just start? Because I mean, anyway, when we arrive to cloud formation, you're gonna explain us what is cloud formation. So, because what I have seen it is we're gonna probably spend like the whole week talking about something that we're gonna talk about again. So why don't we just start?
Which one you are talking about? VPC or?
No, I'm talking about the whole thing.
Yeah. No, actually, yesterday we just started with these things, right? Yesterday I explained up to this VPC, like service wise. I'm not explaining it in detail. Why? Because for that only we have a dedicated session on day by day we are going to learn individually. But as I said, right, the yesterday I just started to tell about what are the services which we are going to cover in this courses. So I said like, this is what our agenda. Okay, so these are the services only we are going to cover in the AWS. Like that only
No,
we started to discuss.
I understand that, but my question is,
Ah.
instead of explaining the whole agenda, where we're going to probably spend the whole week doing, why can't we just start a class like?
Yeah, I can start the class, no problem. I'll give a quick
I
recall
don't know
of.
I mean, if,
No,
I
no
don't know
problem.
what other people think about it, but I mean, for me, I think we
Actually,
can start.
no problem. I can start the. Don't worry. I can finish up with this in 10 to 15 minutes, and after that, I can directly going to start with the introduction to cloud. The reason
Okay.
why I'm explaining all this because you should be aware in this course. What are so before moving on to the course, right? You should be clear about the agenda. Correct. What was
Okay.
this course and what is this course and what you are going to learn this basically. So that is the reason I'm explaining this all. Okay. So
Okay.
everyone should know that actually. Okay, that's the reason. But no worries. Like yesterday we had a complete things because it's a first day session. No one aware of all the things, so that's the reason I clearly explained individually one by one. Okay, in detail. Now no worries. I can complete it in another 10 to 15 minutes about this. Okay, maximum. After that, I can start with the very first session, which is introduction to cloud. Okay. So fine. Now let me go ahead about this and remaining things and all right. It is right. This is basically each and every topic. It is in detail. It is mentioned. EC2 instance, under the EC2 instance, what we are going to discuss. EBS, under that, what and all we are going to discuss. Load balancer, what and all we are going to discuss under the load balancer, like this. Okay, so this we don't want to discuss right now. That under the individual sessions we can see that. Okay, now just give me 10 to 15 minutes. I can complete it. What are the services further we are going to see it. So as I said, something called as a cloud formation. Cloud formation is used for building the resources. I can say it's kind of one kind of a resource provisioning tool. By using this cloud formation, you can keep like a template. Okay, you can create your resources rapidly by means of a template. So it's kind of a template. If you run the template, it will build the resources. So it's kind of a automation. So cloud formation is kind of a automation. So that is the reason we are keeping this as a services here. It is also one of our essential service in the perspective of DevOps as well. And next to that, SES, simple email service. So the same way we have so this kind of SES, SQS, and SNS. It's kind of a same kind of similar kind of tools. Okay. So by means of this, you can go for alert. You can go for alerting. So it's kind of alert kind of things. So by means of SNS and all, you can receive the alerts. You can receive the notification. The same way email service and queue services also will be there. We can see it in detail actually. So what I mean to say, like simple email service, simple queue service, and SNS. All these three can be in a similar kind of service only. So in that way, I can select notification service. We can use it mostly. This is for notifying the some messages. Okay. So into the particular topic, we can see about this in detail. Further, I can move on to the next one, Lambda. So this Lambda also similar to a cloud formation, I can say. Cloud formation is used for provisioning new resources. Okay, cloud formation is used for provisioning new resources. I can select it kind of automation for provisioning new resources. Lambda, by using this also going to I'm going to use some scripting language. YAML. By means of YAML, you can do some automation. The same way Lambda. In the Lambda also, you can do some automation. By means of Lambda, you can do some automation. For this also, we are going to use some small scripting language. So this both, it will be fall under a DevOps, developing operations. It's kind of one of a DevOps services under this. Okay, AWS. And next to that, Snowball. Snowball is a services which is for storage actually. So by means of Snowball, it is also similar to kind of a storage. I can say like this is especially for migrating the storage. Here we can see like some import export operations. So that is essentially we are going to use Snowball. Kind of it will be fall under migration. Then it will be code commit. Code committing also it will be fall under kind of a DevOps actually. Okay, so on the particular topic, we can see it in detail. Next to that, cloud trial. So cloud trial is a service. So by using the cloud trial, you can track the user activity, which engineer doing what kind of activity. So we have many cloud engineers under a project, right? So what kind of operation is going on? Okay, you can track the user's activity. Okay, what is the operation is going on currently? So that you can track by cloud trial actually. Next to that, elastic beanstalk. This elastic beanstalk, it's kind of a PaaS, platform as a service. I'll explain about what is platform as a service in detail in the introduction class. So then you can come to know what is EBS, elastic beanstalk. Next to that, CloudFront. Okay, so CloudFront, it's kind of a one kind of a CDN actually. So by means of CloudFront, you can say like a kind of a content delivery network. So those things you can get in the CloudFront actually. And Route 53 is kind of a DNS service, guys. Okay, Route 53 is kind of a DNS service. So by means of that, you can have a name resolution in your network. So that is the reason we are using the Route 53. Next to that, Glacier. Glacier is also kind of a storage. Okay, Glacier also is kind of a storage. Here we can go for an archival storage. Normal storage, we can have simple storage service, which is S3. Okay, simple storage service, that is for normal storage, and Glacier is for archival storage actually. Finally, we are going to see something called as a KMS, key management service. So that key management service is for encryption, kind of a encryption. You can use it on all under this key management service actually. Okay, so overall, these are the services which we are going to cover in this courses. Okay, so this is what you are going to learn one day by day, one by one. Okay, day by day we can cover one by one topic. Okay, so further now no more delay, we can get into the yeah, someone asked, yeah, I think Santosh is asked like, is a Route 53 is a DNS service or cloud VPN service? Yeah, Route 53 is a DNS service, friend. Okay, Route 53 is a DNS service. It's not a cloud VPN service. Fine, Santosh. Okay. So any other doubt about the agenda? Okay. Okay. Then fine, friends. Now we can start up with our very first topic, which is introduction to cloud. And as I discussed in the last class, why we need to go for introduction to cloud. So see, the introduction to cloud, right? It is very essential for everyone because the people who all are joined here, right? You are from the different background. We are not sure how you know about the cloud actually. So that is the reason it is a very essential thing which we want to discuss. What is cloud? Why we need cloud and those stuffs. So what I'll do, let me go for explain about. I'm going to start from the scratch. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about these things and all. Okay, what is cloud, why we need that, how we are migrating from the cloud, how we are started from on-prem to the cloud, and what is public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, and those things. Okay, so let me explain the same. So before do that, I want the input from your end as well. So I'm going to just start. So when I'm starting, right, I'm going to start from what is data center. Why? Because if you understand what is data center, then we can start to talk about what is cloud actually. So anybody, you can tell what is data center? What is data center? Why we need data center? Let's make like an interactive session. You just let me know what is data center. Okay, why do we need data center? What will be there in under the data center? Anybody? You can share your inputs. Whatever you know, you can simply share. Anyway, I'm going to explain it. Don't worry. But still, you can share your input as well. Yes, please. Either you can tell through chat or voice.
Where you host your resources like servers, services.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, so fine. It's a good thing. Okay, at least you shared some basic idea, as you said. Why? Because this is essential as well. Even as you said, data center means especially we can go for a server. So as you said, what is data center? There we'll have servers. Okay, first point. And why we need a data center? There we are delivering the services. Okay, fine. And what will be inside the data center? The same answer. There will be servers. Okay. Now my next question is that, are you thinking under the data center only we will have servers, or apart from the servers, what we will have over there?
It would like that would be Nexus switches. Switches would be there, and storage unit would be there.
Okay, very good. You're saying like network switches will be there.
Yeah.
Okay.
L3 switches, I mean.
L3 switches. Okay. And even, yes, Santosh said like routers, switches, firewalls, load balancers. Very good. And someone said like racks of servers. Okay. Any other inputs?
They will have, services also, like, there are different software they use. Application,
very good.
the server application.
Okay, very good, guys. Thank you. Thanks for your input, first of all. Really good thing. Now, I can explain somewhat in detail as well. So people who are not aware of this, right? For everyone. Okay, for everyone. Hope it will be, even if you are already aware of data center also, really it is going to be informative for you. So in our environment, right, we can shortly say what is data center in the sense S4N. Okay, why I'm saying like S4N in the sense that we will have 4 S and 1 N. So in our environment, we can shortly call it like S4N. So which I mean to just say, under a data center, I will not only having server. Okay, I will have server, storage, software, security. Okay, networking. So that is what I shortly represented like S4N. Server, storage, software, security, networking. First of all, why we need this? Why we need to have? So that's the reason I said like, if you ask some people like what is data center, they may say like server room. It is server room. Some people may say like no, it is a network room. So there will have network devices like switch, router, firewall. Some people will say like no, data center means storage room. There will have all the storage device, sandbox. Will have SAN storage device. So I'm saying data center is not only for server, data center is not only for storage, data center is not only for software, it is for all. Data center is for data center is for to keep servers, storage, software, security, networking, and everything. So first of all, why we need data center in the sense to support our customer. Okay, according to our client requirement, we want to deliver various services. From the data center only, you are delivering various services. That services can be anything. Okay, based on the client requirement, we may deliver any kind of services. That services can be delivered through any software. Okay, the services can be delivered through any kind of server. So say an example, a simple example, I'm supporting for a banking customer. Okay, I'm supporting for a banking sector. So if the banking employees, okay, the particular banking sector employees are right, so they want to work in the sense, basically they don't basically they should have some application server. From the application servers only, even you know right how they are making the entry of deposits and so many people are withdrawing the money and you know right, banking process. So to track all the banking process, definitely they are doing some data entry on an application. So that application should be run on an application server. So when I'm talking about application server is not like any single resource. If you want to build an application server, okay, if you want to build an application server, then what you need actually, you need a server. Okay, you need a server. On top of a server, you need a storage, hard disk. Then you need a software. The software here represent like operating system. So say an example, if it wants to be application server, that application server can be HP or Dell. Okay, it can be HP or Dell or IBM. Okay, it can be HP or Dell or IBM. Okay, or it can be any kind of server hardware. Okay, and it will be associated with many hard disk actually. Okay, and see here the storage is having another one meaning, which is SAN, storage area network. Why? Because that inbuilt hard disk and all. Say an example, a simple example I can say, in your system, in your lap or desktop, if you are not sufficient with the inbuilt hard disk, what you will do, you'll go for an external hard disk. You'll go for an external hard disk. But in the server and all, we can't connect the external hard disk and all. For server, we can have a dedicated storage system. That storage system is SAN, storage area network, we can say. That storage area network also, it can be a NetApp storage. Okay, I'm saying it's a company, it's a brand, NetApp storage or IBM storage. Like I said, dedicated storage system will be there. So there only the bulk amount of hard disk will be there. So plenty of hard disk will be connected together and with some strategy. So thereby you can attach a LAN, okay, additional volumes to the servers. So I'm just comparing this, how you are insufficient with the inbuilt storage, then you are attaching the external hard disk. The same way, if you are not sufficient with the inbuilt storage hard disk in the HP or Dell IBM server, then you are going for additional storage devices like the SAN. So from here, you can map the additional volume to the server. Okay, so if you want to run any application server, you need a server hardware, you need a storage hardware. On top of that, you need a software. Here I mean to say like software in the sense, any custom application based on the customer requirement. Any customized application will be there. It can be a ticketing tool. It can be a CRM application. Okay, CRM, customer relationship management application, or it can be anything. So that application also need to be installed on top of the OS. So here I mean to say like software in the sense, server operating system plus that custom applications, any customized applications or app, okay, custom software or anything. It can be anything. Okay, and then so with this three also you can't achieve the application. So obviously this I need. In addition to that, as I said, the same example, right? Banking sector. So the customers, which I mean to say like the banking employees. So the employees are spread all over the world based on the banking sector. I can say like they have various branches. They will have multiple branches, and they need to be work everywhere. Okay, I mean to say like they should be connected together. To connect it together, obviously I need a networking. Okay, so networking is also essential. So how we are going to build the networking? By means of switches, routers. Okay, switches and routers. That can be a, I can say like, okay, that can be a Cisco switches and routers or any other things. Okay. Okay. And finally, okay, you had a good networking. Okay, you had a proper networking and software, storage, servers, and everything. But still, without security, it is vulnerable. So you need to have a proper firewall with the proper firewall configuration. Certain protocol and all you can follow, right? By means of that, you should have a firewall. That firewall also here, you know, right? Checkpoint, Palo Alto, many other firewalls also is there. So I mean to say, guys, if it is a data center means when you have all these resources collectively, we can call it like a data center. If you go for any data center, minimum these are the resources will be there. But in addition to that, load balancer also will be there. I can agree. Load balancer also will be there. We can make any firewall also as a load balancer or dedicated physical load balancer is there. So overall, I'm saying shortly I represent like S4N. You can remember this: server, storage, software, security, networking. When you all put together, we can call it like a data center. And why we need a data center? According to your customer requirement, you need to deliver the services. To deliver effective services, you need minimum these are the resources actually. So got the points? Any doubt from this first of all? So please let me know first of all. Up to this, it is clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay. So what about others? Shall I move on then? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine guys. Thank you. Now what I'll do further, I can explain you. Okay, so just now you understood what is data center. Now further, why we want to discuss about this data center to learn the cloud computing? Any idea? Why we want to discuss about data center to learn the cloud?
The cloud itself is a data center.
Okay, good point. Cloud itself, it is a data center actually. But still, what is the difference between the cloud data center and your data center? You said right. But my question is that, then what is the difference between cloud data center and your data center?
Actually, our data center is for dedicated functionality, which we are on which we are working. But cloud is something on which we can deploy the application as per client requirement.
Reduced maintenance cost wise. I mean,
very good, guys. Correct. Thanks for your input. So yeah, almost you said correctly. So even Santosh also said like we don't want to huge amount to invest to produce the hardware. First point. And cloud is cost effective, obviously, and need to go with the cloud environment because the main thing is that you can have a less maintenance. Now I can explain how it can be less maintenance and how it can be effective, cost effective. Those things I can explain it. So I'm going to tell about the history, how we are moving from the on-prem to the cloud. So as of now, we can say this is on-prem. On-prem in the sense on-premise. In your premise, you are going to keep all these physical resources. In your premise, you are going to keep the server, storage, software, security, networking. All this will be in a physical environment. I mean to say like all this will be a physical resources. Okay, all this will be a physical resources. What is the drawback when you go for more and more physical resources? If you are keeping more and more physical resources, then it will be a more and more maintenance. Okay, why? Because when you keep all those as a physical servers means it will be somewhat tough to maintain the resources. So that is the reason we evolved into something called as virtualization. Now I can explain you how we get into the cloud actually, how we are moving into the cloud actually. So for this, you need to understand something. Okay, very early days we had like, so I'll just remove this because we understood what is a data center and why we need data center. Data centers for deliver the services, delivering services to our clients. That's fine. Now the same topic I can take. So data center is for delivering. Okay, data center is to deliver service to clients. Data center is to deliver various services to clients. Okay, so that services can be anything. It based on the client requirement. Say an example, I want to deliver a 10 different application service. Okay, in my according to my client requirement, my customer need a 10 different application. Okay, so very early days when you want to run a 10 different application. Okay, if you want to run a 10 different application service, then you need a 10 different physical server. I'm saying roughly as of now. Okay, if you want to run a 10 different application service in the sense, then you need a 10 different physical server. Okay, you need a 10 different physical servers. Okay. So now what is the drawback here? As I said, right, maintenance. You need to maintain the 10 physical servers. So on top of this 10 physical servers only, your 10 different application services are running. Later, what happened? Technology which is came like virtualization. Once the virtualization technology came, you need not to have a 10 physical server. You can have one physical server. Okay. You can have one physical server. On top of that one physical server, you can have 10 virtual machines. You can have 10 virtual machines. On top of the 10 virtual machine, as usual, you can run the 10 different application services. Okay. Now the question is, have all of you aware of virtual machine, or anyone can tell what is meant by virtual machine? What is meant by virtual machine? I said like virtualization technology came. Once virtualization technology came, we no need of a 10 physical server. Simply can have one physical server. On top of that, you can create 10 virtual machines. Okay, I'm telling this numbering right, 10, 1 and all. It is just rough estimation to make you understand. But in a physical server, you can create many number of virtual machine based on the hardware configuration. Okay, now tell me what is meant by virtual machine? Anybody knows what is virtual machine?
Creating an operating system partition under a physical device means on which we can do multiple partition.
Okay. Okay. Any other inputs? So first of all, what is virtualization? Then we can see VM. What is virtualization? What is virtualization? Okay. So now let me explain it.
You utilizing your physical hardware. You run the instance on top of the physical layer. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Very good. So virtualization is nothing but, friends, converting the physical computing resources into the virtual computing resources. That is what virtualization. So virtualization is a technology by means of a software. The software generally it is called like hypervisor. So hypervisor is a software. By means of the software, you can convert the physical hardware into the virtual hardware. What I mean to say, like physical hardware. So what is meant by computer generally? A computer is made up of hardware and software. So what kind of hardware? Under a hardware, when I'm talking about a hardware, especially CPU, RAM, hard disk. So whenever you are talking to any computing hardware, the basic computing hardware, even I can say like our mobile phone. A mobile phone also is kind of a mini computing. Correct. So there also when you purchase a mobile, obviously you are looking for an internal storage and CPU processing speed and RAM. Obviously, right? So majorly we are focusing on CPU, processor, RAM, and hard disk storage memory. So those kind of hardware, not only this, not only CPU, RAM, memory, network interface card, or any other hardware. So those physical hardware you are able to do. Okay, those physical hardware you are capable to convert physical hardware into virtual hardware means, then it is called virtualization actually. So by means of a software which is called as a hypervisor, you are able to convert the physical hardware into the virtual hardware. By the combination of virtual hardware, you can create a virtual machine. So I can say simply, physical server or physical computer is made up of physical hardware. Virtual computer is made up of virtual hardware. Simple. So physical machine is made up of physical hardware like CPU, RAM, hard disk, all are physically. Virtual machine means it is made up of virtual CPU, virtual RAM, virtual hard disk. So virtual machines are nothing but physical computing. Okay, physical computing devices converted into virtual computing devices on top of a server. So I mean to say like how this architecture will be in the sense, I'll explain you. When I explain by a diagram, right, you can come to understand. So I can say, so just consider this is my physical server. As I said, physical server includes every physical hardware. Okay. On top of this physical server, we are going to have an operating system, as usual, server operating system. Or even this virtualization also can be in two types. One is bare metal virtualization, another one is hosted virtualization. As of now, let's take like hosted virtualization. Even I can explain about what is bare metal virtualization as well. Okay, you have a physical server. On top of that, you are having operating system. As usual, this is generally a server means on top of the server you will have an operating system. Okay. Okay. On top of this, I'm going to have one software which is called as hypervisor. So this is the software which is responsible for converting the physical hardware into the virtual hardware. So this is essential for virtualization. Okay. This is essential for virtualization actually. Okay, I can say this is hypervisor. Okay. So with this hypervisor, what you can do, you can convert the physical hardware into the virtual hardware, and thereby you can build the virtual machine. So on top of this only, we are going to have VM1, VM2, VM3 like that. That virtual machine can have as usual operating system further. So that I can select guest operating system. Okay, so whatever the operating system which is on top of the server, right, that is host operating system. Whatever the operating system on top of this virtual machine, right, this is guest operating system. So even you can allocate the hardwares. Okay, as I said, like a simple logic I can say, just for your understanding. Say an example. Here I can have 16 GB RAM. Okay, in my physical hardware, I can have 16 GB RAM, and I'm having a 4 TB hard disk in the sense. Then you can allocate 4 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM, 4 GB RAM to each and every virtual machine with the 1 TB hard disk. I'm saying as an example. So on top of this, as usual, you can run your application, your customer application as per their requirement. So this virtual machine also kind of a virtual computer. That's it. On top of this virtual computer, you can install the Linux operating system or Windows operating system, whatever you want. Okay. On top of this virtual computer, you can install the. Okay. On top of this virtual computer, you can install your applications as usual. Now that's what I said, like based on the hardware, but that is also depends on your base hardware. If your base, if your base hardware is strong, okay, if it is very strong means, then you can have many number of virtual machines. Okay, it's all up to your base machine hardware. What I'm saying, like base machine, that physical server which I mentioned here, right? The same. Okay, so if you have a some high-end hardware means, according to that you can increase the number of virtual machines. So now up to this clear? Now got it? What is going to be virtualization? Okay. So any doubt on this?
Yeah, I had a question. The operating system, is that like the boot for me, or is it an actual operating system like Linux or Windows?
It can be Windows operating system or it can be Linux operating system, but based on that you need to install the hypervisor. Hypervisor is just a software. Okay, that software you can install based on the operating system. Say an example, if you have a Windows operating system, based on the Windows operating system, you need to install the hypervisor. So I can say like hypervisor, it is Microsoft Hyper-V is there. Okay, so for this also various vendors are there. Okay, I can say like this hypervisor also, it can be different products. Okay, we have various products. I'll say like from the Microsoft we have something called as Hyper-V. From the VMware we can have something called as ESXi, or you can generally I can select VMware. So these all are hypervisor products. Okay.
So what's the difference between VMware EXI versus VMware Workstation?
VMware Workstation, Oracle VirtualBox. Okay. So fine. Hyper-V, VMware, Oracle. So likewise, many more products are there. So Hyper-V is from Microsoft, VMware Workstation. Okay, Oracle. Okay. So this can be installed on top of any operating system. So based on the operating system, you need to install. Say an example, usually if you are installing any software based on the Windows or Linux operating system, you will install the software, right? The same category only. Okay. So got it? Fine.
Hi, I have a question. The question I have is it possible to allocate more RAM size or more hard disk space on the on the VM? That's if you have, is it possible, for example, let's say you have on the physical server, you're running on a 40 GB. Is it possible to allocate 60 GB on the VM and give it a higher RAM speed rather than that the one you have on the physical server? Is it possible?
Yeah, so you can increase your virtual hardware. At any time you can increase your virtual hardware, but if you want to increase your virtual hardware, your physical hardware should be high. Okay, your physical hardware should be high end. If your physical hardware is in high end, then like high configuration, I mean to say like high end in the sense high configuration. So based on your physical hardware configuration, you can increase your virtual hardware configuration. Okay. So understood?
Yes. No. What I'm asking is, let's say for instance you're running on the 40 GB. Is it possible to allocate more than that 40 GB on your VM? That's more than 40 GB which you have on your physical server. Is it possible to do that?
No.
Okay.
So that's why I said, like, say an example. Based on your physical hardware configuration only, you can move with your virtual hardware. If you have a less physical hardware configuration in the sense, then how we can make it on. So I mean to say, like, virtualization is all about sharing the physical hardware into a virtual hardware. So based on the capacity of your physical hardware only, it can be as a virtualization. Okay. So it can't be more than your physical hardwares. Within your physical hardwares only, it can be shareable. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So shall we move on, friends, then? Okay. So as I said just before, by means of this virtualization, we went into the next technology. So very earlier days, I can select 10 years back, 12 years back, and all, right, everything it will be a physical servers. Okay, before virtualization technology came, everything it will be physical servers. So once the virtualization technology came, you need not to have all the servers as a physical servers. You can have only one physical server. On top of that, as I said, you can have multiple virtual machines. So that virtual machines, you can use it for hosting the web applications or anything. So that is what here in the notepad I mentioned, like, one on top of one physical server, you can have 10 different virtual machines. Then you can go for a 10 different application service. Okay. So fine. Now, what cloud computing is saying, okay, what cloud computing is saying, even you don't want that one physical server also. What is your aim? What do you want? You need a virtual machines. Correct. You want virtual machines. To have the virtual machine, you can have one cloud account better. Okay, you can have a cloud account. Okay, you can have any cloud account, which can be AWS or Azure or anything. Why? Because all this in the same concept only, right? So you can have a cloud account. On the cloud account, you can have 10 or more virtual machines. Then you can host the same kind of 10 different applications. So what it is finally? So ultimately, what we are doing, we are reducing the number of servers. Okay, we are reducing the number of physical servers. So your aim is that you want to deliver the service. To deliver the service, now you need a virtual machines. That virtual machines you can directly take from the cloud service provider. So cloud service provider directly can provide a virtual machines to you. Okay, so you no need of any physical server then. So this is how we evaluated from the physical environment to the cloud actually. But cloud also using the same technology kind of virtualization, so that we can see how the cloud computing is working. But the idea of is this: ultimately you want to run a different application service, or it can be you are delivering some services, you are delivering some set of services. To deliver the services, you need a resources. That resources need not to have a physical resources. Instead of physical resources, you can keep the virtual resources. For keeping the virtual resource also, earlier you need at least one physical server to host a virtualization. But now what cloud is saying, no need not to have any physical resource to host a virtualization. Directly you can start to use the virtualization. So clear, guys, how we evaluated into the cloud? Okay. So fine, friends, all of you clear? Any doubts? Okay, so I think everyone is clear. Now what I'll do, I'll move on to explain further. So now see, friends, this is what I said about why we need a cloud in the sense. So when you go with the cloud, right, it is very less maintenance. Because of this less maintenance function only, we are moving into the cloud actually. So the main key advantage, okay, the main key advantage of cloud is we can have very less maintenance, because you don't want to We don't want to okay, less maintenance, because we don't want to have much physical servers. But still, I can say in most of the cloud projects, most of the organization, maximum they will move into the cloud. But still, very few servers we need to have in our on-prem, so that we can discuss later. But the main reason which you are moving into the cloud is, the advantage is less maintenance. Okay, advantage is less maintenance. And next to that, no capital investment. I can say, like, again, less capital investment or no capital investment. Why? Because you need not to spend the amount on investing the servers. Okay. Say an example, you are a startup company. You are a startup company in the sense that no need to purchase any servers. No need not to purchase any other mentioned resources. Here I mentioned few resources, right? This physical resources you need not to purchase. You can directly start to utilize the cloud resources. You can create one cloud account. You can create one AWS account. Under the AWS account, you can start to utilize the Amazon EC2, AWS VPC, simple storage services. Whatever the services which I'm saying, server, storage, software, all this, that it will be available as a virtual resources. Which I mean to say, like, once you get into the cloud, you will get the virtual server, you will get the virtual storage, you will get the virtual you will get the virtual server, virtual storage, and you will get the virtual firewall, virtual networking device, and everything. All these resources you can have it over virtually, but same functionality, same function, same features, but virtually you are going to access it. So that way, as I said, less maintenance. Okay, not much capital investment. Okay, and only you are going to spend the running cost. Only you are going to spend the running cost. So there is maintenance. There is no maintenance cost as well. So because of this advantage only, cloud we need essentially. Okay, and we are moving into the cloud as well. And manpower also. Okay, very less manpower. Why? Because since everything is a virtual environment, there is no. That is the reason you people also moving into the cloud. Why? Because you need to be update your knowledge, or else, right? You know that obviously organization is looking for less manpower with high productivity. So that is what most of the organizations agenda, right? So they want to have a less manpower with high productivity. So what are the ways which we can achieve that? So the same way, cloud is provisioning the same. Okay, cloud is implementing the same. So you can have a less manpower with the same high productivity. Why? Because as usual, you are going to have your resources and everything virtually, and you are able to achieve the things. So got it, guys? This is the reason we are moving into the cloud actually. Okay, now you got it. What are the points which we discussed? What is cloud computing? Why we need cloud computing? Okay, what are the challenges which we had in on-prem? So finally, I can select what is meant by cloud computing in the sense simply. Okay, I can select cloud computing is nothing but. Okay, cloud computing means delivery of computing resources over the. Okay, it is nothing but delivery of computing resources over the internet. But I can agree one thing. Without internet, you can't have the cloud computing actually. So for cloud computing, you need an internet actually. Why? Because cloud service provider like AWS, Microsoft Azure, GCP, they are in a remote location. Okay, from a different place, they are delivering the services to you. So instead of you, they are keeping the virtual data center. So cloud computing is delivery of the same kind of computing resources virtually. Okay. Okay, delivery of computing resources virtually over the internet in real time. That is what cloud computing. Okay, so computing resources, which I mean to say like, okay, computing resources, which I mean to say like, computing resources such as server, storage, software. Okay, these all are the computing resources which I mentioned. Software, security, but all will be in virtual form. So got it, friends? And database and everything. Okay. Any doubts? Any queries, friends? Up to now? Okay, then I think everyone is clear up to this. Now, so as I said, today we have just seen the first layer. Okay, we have seen the first part. So tomorrow I can explain about what is private cloud, what is public cloud, what is hybrid cloud, and everything. So today we had hope we had a good introduction and what is the essential of cloud, why we need cloud, how why organization is moving to the cloud, why they are migrating the physical servers into the cloud servers. So right, friends. Okay, so if you all are okay means then we can conclude now. Tomorrow we can connect back.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks a lot. It was a good introduction.
Okay, thank you guys. Thanks for your cooperation. So
Thank you.
yeah, tomorrow we can see in detail about the public cloud, private cloud, and as per the time we can move on to the cloud services as well. Okay, let's see.
Hello, where will tomorrow's link will be provided on LinkedIn only?
The same. You can get it as usual.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, and one minute, guys. And as you know about that, right? Yesterday, as I informed, please have a look on the pricing. So you know, right? The first 3-day sessions only it will be free. So further, if you want to discuss about the pricing, right, you should be contact Sagar and Abdul. Okay, so they will be available. So you can reach them and you can get the pricing detail and everything, so that you'll be enrolled into the training. Okay, so the free session is only for this 3 days. Okay, yesterday and today and tomorrow. So within that, you can just discuss about your pricing. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you.